Hello,
Hey.
hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode. We're on episode 3 this week. Yes, we made it, y'all. We made it. It's funny. We were just talking about this whole thing of like being like, okay, we made it to like a full, you know, episode 3. Like we really started this, or we sat down and said we was gonna do it a month ago, and here we are a month later, 3 episodes in, and it's so much fun so far. So thank y'all for being along with us for the ride. This week, this week, what we're talking about today is it okay to cut people off without warning? Yeah.
I am ready. I am ready for this topic.
Because it can get touchy. It can get real touchy. And I know, like, I think in our previous episodes, we kind of alluded to it a little bit in different conversations. I know last week I talked about, leaving a dude at the restaurant. And then I know episode 1, we kind of talked about friendships running their course and things like that. But yeah, we've said a lot leading up to this episode, which yeah, I told myself I was going to try not to get too personal on this one, because this one, it be hitting it touch a nerve for me.
But it's hard not to get personal. Like,
I know.
Like, if this would be a big, would you say a big group chat?
Yeah.
We got to get personal sometimes. I mean, and if you feel some type of way about it, then maybe, we might not even be talking about you. But if you feel some type of way, then so be it. Over there sipping your tea, huh?
I'm just saying, because she said it, not me.
But you have to, at the end of the day, y'all want us to keep it real with y'all. Right. We don't want to play fake or anything like that. We're going to keep it real with y'all. If y'all feeling some type of way about the conversation, then we're sorry, but not sorry.
Or how about you just join the conversation? If you feel a way about it, jump in and tell us what you feel. Tell us what you think. Because that's where we're trying to go with this, right? Because group chats and friends should be able to tell each other how they feel about things without somebody feeling a certain type of way about it. But
that is most definitely true. I feel you 100%.
And I mean, that's where we want to go as adults now, right? Like, that's how we evolve. That's how we grow friendships. That's how we grow as people, is to like get to the point where you can accept that accountability and that you can hear both ways. Somebody can tell you how they feel and y'all can grow from that. Because I do think that some of the relationships that do get severed in situations like this are because maybe the communication wasn't the greatest. And I mean, I guess that kind of doesn't support the idea of cutting off without warning, but I think every situation has its reason. Every situation has its point or has its cause, So, I mean, I guess all in all, if you would have asked me if it's okay to cut people off without warning, I'm biased because clearly I'll be cutting myself off. Yes, I think it's okay. I think it is okay to protect your peace. But I feel like if that person did approach me and ask for an explanation, there's 2 people, I should say, or 2 types of people. Let me clear that up. There's 2 types of people that I would feel about like going through this with. There's the first type of person that I cut you off without warning. I don't owe you no explanation, because there was probably something that was done along the process that I feel like what you did. I don't need to talk to you no more. Or it was just something so abrupt, something so disrespectful, something that was so just like, that I was like, yeah, nope, I'm done with that.
Like, you have your nerves.
Right. But then there are some situations where, maybe there were an accumulation of things that like I had just finally reached a boiling point. And now if that person approached me and wanted an explanation, I maybe give it,
Right.
But not every cutoff is warranted an explanation. You don't owe nobody nothing when it comes to that.
Yeah. And then you also think about it. You also have those breakups with friendships where y'all both know why y'all not friends no more. Like, y'all have that crash that you like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. And then also, you need to think about your peace too. It's y'all. Like, we supposed to be benefiting each other. If that's not working, and we supposed to be growing, if, we can't do that as a friendship, then it's just not going to work. That's how I feel about it.
That just reminded me of that one post that was like, I was too busy protecting my peace and I ain't got no friends.
But that's crazy because it's the truth, though. It really be the truth. Because, you know what? I have some friendships that be like, I'm glad, especially seeing where we at now and see that we like two separate people, or our friendship, like, it ran its course.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, hey, how you doing? But we can't be buddy. We can't be close or anything like that, because what I do, you don't do, and what you do, I don't do. So we're not going to bond like we used to bond back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know those type of situations too, because I can think back to some, you remember when we used to live together? Think about the people that was around us in that first apartment. Like, the people that were around us, we wouldn't, I ain't gonna say, like, we really don't be in situations or places where we would even run into a lot of them people anymore. You know what I mean?
About that.
Like, aside from like family that was around during that time, we really don't see nobody. And it's sad to say, but a lot of those people are probably still in those same situations. But now granted, don't get it mixed up as like I'm saying like I'm better than anybody else. I just know that I'm better than I was at that time.
You grew.
Right.
We're not saying that you did not grow. We just grew two different ways.
Right.
We just grew two different ways. It's okay, and you might feel the same way, like, Kila do things that I don't do, and that's personally, like, to me, it's okay, and I feel like even if somebody cut me off and like didn't tell me why, I'm okay with it. Like,
look, I had my moments. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm blocked. What you mean? What you mean? Like, I did have a moment. I did kind of feel away. A time that I got, I guess.
Girl, Janelle looked just like you. That face you just made, your baby was all on that.
Well, look, I created her. That is a carbon copy, y'all. Look, I should have a picture that just pop up like right here, like, because that girl, she my twin. That's my twin in them. She look just like me. That's my broke best friend. She gonna be so mad, like, Mom, why you telling folks I'm broke?
Look, I'm sorry just to put that in, but that face, I was just like, oh.
Look, I didn't completely lost my train of thought with that one, because I'm like,
but you was saying was that, you had those moments where people cut you off and you were just like,
girl, yes, I had a moment. I had a moment in there where I was like, why you not answering my calls? And I will tell you, that person definitely put me in my place, real, because sometimes I don't owe you. I don't have to tell you. And I'm like, you're right. You are very right. I was mistaken to assume that I am entitled that luxury to know why you decided to not deal with me no more. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, like, just complete transparency, I know that I was a good friend to a lot of people, and I also know that I was very young and I was very immature, and I do know that I may have not handled every situation that I've ever been in the best way that I could have, right? But I think that's why now I be feeling like it's so important to have forums like this, have places where you can talk, because sometimes you need to talk through some moments to be like, okay, yeah, maybe that's not the way to handle that, or maybe I was wrong and there was nobody in my circle to tell me that I was wrong. And that's where you need to have these type of conversations, these type of people you can lean on and be like, girl, was I tripping? Because sometimes you'll have them friends that'll be like, girl, nope, and have you out here looking crazy with them. And I'm grateful for my sister here, because y'all, we be talking each other off the ledge for a lot of stuff. It's just, look, at the time I was making them super stupid decisions, she was younger than me. So, but granted, we've lived a little, we've learned a lot.
Learned a
Big.
lot. A lot. Because I be thinking, like, it's crazy because now I be thinking, like, the relationships that I had with people back then. And I'm not saying, like, the people that I was real close to, then before we stopped being friends or anything like that, we had a conversation. And some of them, we just grew apart. Like, you know, it was like, we used to talk every day, that every day became, you know, twice a week became once a month, like type like that.
And it happens.
And it happens, you know, when we have different things going on and things like that. But it's also people that I was like real tight and close with. We most definitely had a conversation on why, you know, what happened when it happened. And it's just like, okay, we need time apart. And time apart just lasts
Group.
longer, just lasts forever. And, you know, I might drop in here and there and be like, hey, you know, how you doing? How the kids doing? And things like that. What's new with you? And things like that. But I know we ain't how we used to be, and I know we ain't for real friends because,
Right.
you know, I do have one person I could say that when we talk to each other, it's, hey sis, and we might only talk like 5 times out the year, but the other people is just like, you know, I want to check up on you, see how you doing, things like that, because we used to be close, and I know you, you know, from back then, but now that we older, like we in our 30s. So
Girl, not me over here having technical difficulties. I'm like trying to close. I got this split screen. I'm over here like, how do I get this? And Janelle was just talking junk about me earlier. So I'm saying, Mom, why is you tapping at that screen like you an old person? And I feel like the whole time you talking, I'm over here like, go away. How do I make this go away? And I can't get it to go away.
But I didn't even notice. That's the crazy thing about it. I just thought you was being look.
Girl, no, I'm literally over here like, go. And I keep making split screens and that's what I get. That's what I get for over here thinking I was super techie, and now I didn't.
But you are though. You know you the go-to. Like I swear, you are the like from both sides. Well, from me, and then from your mom's side, like you the go-to. So if you don't know how to do that, we probably all don't know how to do it.
I got it. I finally figured it out because I had my little notes on half of my screen. I was like, I don't want the notes. I want the notes to go away. So I'm sitting here swiping. I'm like, okay, you know what? I know this is real distracting. Everybody probably looking like, what is she doing? But yeah, now y'all know what I was doing. I was having some technical difficulties, but I got it together. Don't worry about it. I got it together. So,
and I also see a couple more people joined as well. But the topic that we're talking about, is it okay to cut people off? Like, y'all, let us know in the comments what y'all think about that. Because, like, I think it's okay. Like, with no warning, sitting down having a conversation about it. Letting, you know, what y'all think.
And it's not only just friends. Because I know there's family, too. There is some family that I just don't talk to no
girl.
more.
That
like,
part.
And it's family, like, I was, like, buddy. We was every holiday, kicking it, everything. Like, and I just don't talk to them anymore. Now I do feel like the reason we don't talk, that's my fault. I'll own that one, but I didn't feel like, I don't know. I guess that kind of can go into this like subtopic, right? Repair and all. Is it worth the repair and all? Because like I know, like there was a situation I know I was wrong, but I ain't double back to be like, I'm sorry, y'all want to be cool again. And not because I don't want to, but you know, sometimes it's like when you damage something, like I don't know if it'll ever go back to what it was, right? And then with that, it's like, what if like it's not a genuine reconnection? You know what I mean? Because then like that's always gonna be looming. Like, okay, we are friends again, but are we really? Because I know there was this one friend I had in high school, and she was my friend since like middle school, and all through high school I thought she was my BFF, right? And like it was like heartbreaking to me in high school, right? So y'all know high school heartbreak is a lot different, but that this girl who I thought was my BFF was not really my BFF. Like she was like not really a good friend to me in high school, and I had to find that out through other avenues, right? Like talking about me and like all type of things. And I'm just like, why is she doing that? Like, why is she acting like that? Like I've done nothing but, you know, be a friend to her. And at this time I was still really a good, genuine friend, right? So like I didn't really get like me until like post high school, because I felt like people did me in too much. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna give what I get. So that was not the right approach, by the way. I'll just put that little sprinkle in there. That was not the right approach. But fast forward to now being adults, and you know, I'm living on my own and have all these other things I got going on. And this person comes back into my life as my friend again. And I'm like, you know, we were kids. It was high school. We're grown-ups now. We were really grown-ups. We was barely 19, maybe 20. And I'm like, you know, we're grown-ups now. So we can put all that behind us. And this girl did the exact same thing to me again. And I was just like, why did I refriend this person? You know? And I think that.
And then you also got to think as well, sometimes in friendship or, you know, even when you family, whatever, you might think that you're like, the way you feel about one person, they might not feel the same way. And I had to learn that the hard way. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, I'm going to text you every holiday. I'm going to text you, you know, you going on a trip, you doing something. I'm going to text you like, hey, did you make it? Did you do that? But or you notice like, if you don't text a person and it'd be like, you know exactly.
Dry line. You don't get that same hook casted out to you where they checking on you.
Right. Like if the only time we talk is because I'm reaching out to you, then you letting me know something. And it's crazy because I just learned this couple years now that I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Like I'm done reaching out to everybody first. Or when we get into it, I'm the first one to come and apologize and stuff like that. I'm done doing that because then a lot of people think they can just do whatever. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. They feel like, oh, well, you know, Kila, it's easy to smooth it over with Kila, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Right. Like, oh, you know, she'll forgive me. Right. Autumn, let me see. Autumn says she feel it. Which part you feel? Because for real, it's a lot. It's a lot up in here. We unpacking a lot. But yeah, which part do you feel? Like, sum it up for me real quick, because I want to bring you into the conversation too. Because anybody, just know, y'all drop in the comments, we're bringing you in the conversation. You are now a part of the group chat. So
that's part.
But no, yeah, like honestly, so I think that situation I dealt with, it kind of made me feel a different way about like refriending. And then years pass and I make a new friend. I have a new friend, and I looked at this person like a younger sibling to me as well. Mm-hmm. And we fell out. Not really fell out. We just kind of faded apart.
Right.
And then this person and I got back together again, and like we got real close. And then that friendship like blew up, right? And I think with that one, it was just like different types of expectations. But then it was just like, there were certain things about that friendship that I felt like didn't grow. And maybe it was just one of those ones where I was like, okay, we both served a purpose in each other's lives. And that was one of the ones where it was just like, we have to separate at this point because it's not beneficial.
We're on 2 different paths.
Literally, it was 2 different paths. And sometimes you can run those paths that are different at the same time and still meet in the middle. But in that situation, it wasn't, right? Because like I was striving to go one way and she was striving to go one way. And it wasn't that our paths needed to cross or needed to even run parallel. It was just, we wasn't in good connection throughout our progress. And that's where it was just starting to fizzle out.
Yeah. And then you also think about those other relationships where like you're real close with a person, and like you said earlier in the podcast, like when you friends, you should be able to tell the other person when they in their wrong, and you should not feel no type of way about it. Like call me on my stuff and I'm gonna call you on yours. But you like don't expect for you to be able to call me on my stuff. Then when I try to call you on yours, you feeling some type of way. Then when that happened, then I'm like, okay, I can see where we at.
Yeah.
But what they say, the math is not mathing. We're not adding up.
Right.
So with that being said, that mean like, okay, we need to sit down and have a conversation, because I don't want to be your friend if I can't have a conversation, like a real like earth to conversation. I don't want to just be your friend so we can kick it, go out, and things like that. But I want to be your friend to the point that we can have personal information. I ain't got to worry about you, you know, telling this person, telling that person, or for you to understand where I'm coming from. And if I'm in the wrong, tell me I'm in the wrong. Those kind of like, you can't find no many people like that nowadays either, where they generally like for you, like they like, I'm gonna call you on your stuff, sis, and I'm gonna do the same. And I don't want you to feel some type of way if I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't think that was right, or do you think you're doing too much, or you know what? You might do this now, but what's gonna happen in the long run? And some people, it's hard for them to hear the truth, and it's just like, you call me on my stuff all the time, like I know you was here with it.
You know, and the other thing too about like some of the friends or friendships today, people don't really point, like if they do, or if they are having those conversations where they're talking to their peers about like maybe what they did or what they said that didn't, you know, vibe or, you know, click with them. It's like they're having these conversations about things that shouldn't matter. Like as you were talking, I was thinking about that girl who had messaged her friend and was like, hey, I feel like you outdressed me on my birthday. Like, that's not the type of conversation that we talking about as far as holding your friends accountable and, you know, like being able to have a friend that you can actually talk to and be like, hey, you know, we talking about being like, girl, like, no, you think you was kind of in the wrong the way that you like cussed out so-and-so, or how you felt like da-da-da-da. Like actually reeling your friend in to give them a dose of reality about like actual outside things that matter, not like, oh, you wore that outfit and you look better than me. And it was
but you think about it for real, how I really feel like if it's my birthday and we're going out, I want us all to look good. And then if you think about it, if you feeling some type of way about what I like, you feel like I upwanted you on your birthday, then that's something about you.
Literally, that's what I was thinking about the girl. I was like, well, honey, why you didn't come harder? It was your birthday. Like, you know your friends, and you would know your folks come with the, you know, they put it on. So why wouldn't you come ready for that? Like,
and then you probably and she probably didn't even think she did her big one on that one. She probably was just like, you know, I dress like this every time we go out. Like,
right. She's like, you know what? Let me keep it simple. I'm gonna put on this one piece. Barely accessorize it. She put on a one piece. But yeah, you see how this is how it goes. We be sitting here talking about something, then we'll subcategorize, and then we wormhole into some whole other stuff. But
it's the truth though. I'm like, if we friends, I want us both to be up there. And I'm not gonna be like, you up with me on my birthday.
Right.
Nah, I feel good in myself. I know I look good. So
I got the babies all around me.
Look. And like, I would have told her, baby, you thinking too hard. You thinking too hard. It ain't that
You
serious.
worry about the wrong things. Your friend showed up for you on your birthday. She showed up. Applaud that part.
Don't do that. A lot of people be like, I'm your friend. It's your birthday, but they might not show up. So be happy she showed up.
Because how many times? Think about it. Think about how many times we didn't put, and like, okay, I can sit here and think back. So when I used to do club promo and I used to be at the club, my line used to go off. Everybody wanted to kick it with me then. Everybody wanted to come out. Everybody wanted to go out. Everybody wanted to have a good time. But then if I was like, hey, y'all, let's go to dinner. You know, let's just go to dinner somewhere and like maybe not go to the club. You know, let's go. No, I'm not going to get the same response. I feel like when I stopped doing the club stuff, I feel like that's when I really started to see like that was a taste of who was really there and who wasn't. I feel like when I got into like a serious relationship, I feel like then I started to see some things differently too. Because I feel like I had guy friends too. Like, you know, I had a lot of friends, like, or people I thought were my friends and that were like there to support me and do different things. And then like I feel like once I got off the market, then some of them guy friends wasn't friends no more. They were like, oh dang, I ain't got a shot. Then I don't know, like
the way you just know what their intentions was.
Yeah, but then I also feel like maybe I don't know where like some of the girls that were friends, I don't know where they went or why they went, right? But I just know my lines started getting dry, and I was just like, okay. But the people who I needed there were there. You know, the people who my immediate circle of people who I talked to, those people were there. But it just goes to show like all these people y'all be thinking are friends because they're there because you got something going on. Those ain't the ones that you really want to sit down and have those conversations with or really pour everything into, because they're surface level friends. They're, what do they call them? NPCs. You know, like they're the people in the background. They're not really like there for real.
They're not in the forefront. They not. If we going to war, I need to know you gonna be riding with me. You know. I'm just saying. I don't know. When I think about cutting people off, like I'm cool with it. Like even family. Like what I want to say cut off family, but it's basically loving you from a distance.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm cool with not talking to you. I'm cool with, you know, not doing a lot of things that we used to do back in the day. It's not that I think I'm better than you or anything like that. And, you know, or anything like that. But it's just like the way I'm trying to go, you need to surround yourself with the people that want to be on the same level you want to be on. Right. If I'm still doing all the old things I did before, I'm not going to get to where I want to go in the future. So I'm just trying to better me. And if you're a real friend, look, we can better each other. Like I want somebody that I can like motivate and they can motivate me. Yeah. And if we can't do that with one another, then it's just not meant to be.
What are we doing? So then I guess that goes back to that question I asked, repair or not. So what would you do? Like, let's say you and someone, you know, y'all separated, y'all grew apart during a certain period. And then you notice like, you know, now y'all both have taken the steps for growth and directions that you needed, and your paths crossed again. Would you refriend a friend if you guys both grew apart, but then all of a sudden your paths are crossing again, and then it may align with some of the things that you have going on now? Would you refriend that person?
It depends. It depends on why we stop being friends. Because we might stop being friends because it was something big. And it's like, nah, what you did was dirty. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a friend that I feel like we just drifted away and it was nothing like too big and you trying to do what I'm trying to do, and I know that you can motivate me and I can motivate you, then yeah, we could be friends again. But not if it's like we was like back and forth on the phone, like cussing each other out. Nah, we can't be friends. No.
But what if like, okay, what if what was big to you then ain't big to you now? Like what if you sat back and you look back on that situation like, you know what, that wasn't even that big. That wasn't even that big of a deal.
If I feel like it was not as big that, you know, like back then, maybe we might have to have a serious conversation and see, you know, what we can do different in this time in our life than what we did back then. How about you? Would you refriend a friend or not?
I feel like I had two situations that didn't work out well for me, so no. No, honestly, no. It's just like what's done is done. But you know, what's done is done. If our friendship ran its course and it ended, then let's just leave it where it is. Like if I see you in Walmart, give you a little what up, you know. But no. But what because I feel like people who were like for real, my friends, I don't know. I feel like me, I've always been the type of person you can just talk to me. I've always, no matter how good, bad, or ugly I may have been in the past, I've always been a person you can talk to. You know what I mean? I've never been that person to be like, nah, I don't want to hear it. Like if there was something to talk through, I've always been available to talk through. You know what I mean? And then like I've also been the type of person, if you ever came to me and told me that I was doing something wrong, I'll be willing to listen to it. You know? And I also know that I've never intentionally did anything to any of my friends who I truly felt was a friend, never did anything intentional to like hurt their feelings or to make them look bad. Like I never did anything like maliciously. You know what I mean? Right. And then I don't know, I feel like I always had the right intentions in my friendships. But I do know I'm a very direct person and I can't come off blunt and I can't come off like a lot of different ways. And I learned that about myself to be like, okay, you got to know your audience and you got to know how to talk to people because that was something I was really struggling with. Right. But I feel like some of those friendships that ended didn't need to end how they ended.
That part.
You know what I mean?
But
So,
what if like y'all like fell off? It was not like a real fall off. It was just like y'all both just like say y'all back then y'all like one went out to school and then you know, or you was doing your business thing. Like y'all was just busy and it's just like drafted off. Like would you like if y'all cross paths like years later and then you be like, hey, you know what happened? Like we just like literally just fell off. Like what happened? Like would you like you know get back tight with that person or would you just let it
I
be?
wouldn't get back tight. And here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what that person went through in that time apart, right? And I don't know what their intentions are coming back. I don't know if, and that's the sad part about it, is because like when people see growth in you, then they all of a sudden come back. It's like moth to a flame. And it's like, I don't know if you're genuinely coming back around me because you want to be my friend for real, or if you see me as an opportunity for you. You know, and granted, that's what we're talking about, friendships being opportunities to help each other grow. But don't let me do all the growing and then think I'm just gonna be like, all right, come on now.
Like right, put you on real quick.
And that's the thing. That's how I was in the past. Like I was that friend. Like if I eat, you eat. If I got it, you got it. And that burned me way too many times of feeling like, you know, I'm a do for everybody around me. And then when I would do for everybody around me, I wouldn't necessarily get that same thing back. Look, he said they hate seeing growth. And sometimes that is so true. That is so true.
So true. I most definitely agree with that 100%.
Because sometimes they come back into your life to sabotage the growth that you've made. And I think like now, and I'm not saying that if somebody was to come back into my life, that would be their intent. But I feel like that's me once again protecting the peace that I've created. Because I feel like I have a lot more at stake now. I'm not a 24-year-old girl who's out here going to the clubs and don't really have nothing to my name. Like I have a whole family. I have a whole business. I have a lot more things, right, that I don't want to lose, right? And I don't want to bring somebody into my inner circle that could potentially have malicious intent. Because I gave you two different examples of in the past where those two relationships ended on different ways, and when they came back, we still ended. And I don't know, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I was the problem because I know, like I said, I'm being transparent here. I know I was not an angel, right?
Right.
But I did know that there was growth that needed to happen in me, and I did know that I did what I needed to do to see that growth in myself. And that's why, knowing me and where I am today, I would say no.
Yeah. I know like one friendship that I know that it was because of me. Hold on. It might have been a couple more, but I know one one specific one. We had to take a break. It was because of me. But I'm like, y'all, I grew. like I'm not that person. I'm a better person now. And I'm okay if you like Kila, I don't think we could be friends after that. I'm okay with that because I'm like, you know what? I know I shouldn't did that. Or I shouldn't have said that. It was not what I did. It was what I said. But sometimes
that's typically what it is for me. Like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said that. But look, now, you know, we older. I'm like, I'm learning to think the conversation out first before I have a conversation with somebody. And I'm not gonna lie, that was hard for me to do. Is the learning to think before I say. I usually just say and didn't care what people thought. But now I'm like, you know what? I want people to care about my feelings, so I need to start caring about other people's feelings.
Like, I think if the question was asked that if I would sit down with any of the old friends that I had and have conversations about the fall off or the separation or whatever, there's a few that I would, but then there's other ones where I feel like I don't think we need to really talk about it. Like, it was just like you said, some of those ones where it was just like, we just kind of drifted, you know, and it just happened. It just drifted in. Like, there's no hard feelings there. Like, I guess that kind of goes into the other piece here where I was about to skip over, but I guess we can go into it. Like, our friendship breakups as hurtful as relationship breakups. And I told myself I wasn't going to get personal on this one, but you can't, right? You can't not get personal.
Right.
Yes, they can be hurtful. like I have like I said, 2 friendships that like I genuinely felt like hurt over them ending. One of them, it was a whole blow up, and I had a part to play in the blow up, although I did not initiate it. I still take ownership in the piece that I played in the blow up, and it still hurt me that that friendship ended. And even after the friendship ended, you know, me and that person will still like low key keep tabs or check in like every blue moon. Like, you good over there? Yeah, I'm good. But we knew we ain't gonna be friends, but you good over there. I'm still checking, you still checking. But then it just got to a point where we were just like, you know what, this checking thing ain't gonna work. And like a part of me felt hurt when that like when we cut off all ties, not because okay, a part of me knew that we weren't really gonna be like buddy buddy again, but the fact that this person didn't grow hurt me. Because even though we weren't friends, like tight anymore,
right?
This person said something to me. Like, this is as I left Chicago to come to Texas, and I don't know if anybody like on here from my inner circle know how abruptly I left Chicago. Like, it was like quick, it was abrupt. Like, I got a job and I had like 3 weeks to find a house and get here. Like, it wasn't like a long process. Like, they offered me the job. I had to find a place for my family. I had to transfer my kids. If y'all know how it goes to transfer everything, uproot your whole family and go, it's a lot to uproot your whole family and go. But I say all that to say this. It was a process. I was uprooting the family. I was trying to get gone in 3 weeks. And this person had reached out, you know, in that time. And because it was around my birthday too, like that I found out I got this job. And this person would always reach out to me around my birthday just to say happy birthday. And yeah. So then I told them like, hey, you know, thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm about to uproot. I'm about to leave. I'm out of here. Right. Then this person says, oh, we should hang out before you go. Mind you, me and this person had not hung out in years because we had a blow up and we were no longer like that type of friend anymore. It was one of those, I'll check in. I'll see how you're doing from here and there, you know. But I agree. I said, you know what? You're right. Maybe we should. Maybe we can make that work. That was the optimist in me, thinking that I could make that work. I couldn't even make it work to where I could see all of my family before I left. We literally we just called for this one big thing where we said, hey, everybody, we're throwing a dinner. Everybody come if you want to see us, because we knew it was unrealistic for us to go and visit all these different people before we leave the state. But this person reaches out to me after I'm gone and tell me, you know, I think it's best that like we just don't talk to each other anymore because you didn't think about me. You know, and like you didn't, you know, you said that we were going to hang out and we didn't hang out, and I had to find out that you're already gone, and you know, you didn't make time for me before you left. And I'm just like, dang, that really hurts, because I thought during this time of us apart, I thought this person was growing, and that was one of the reasons why we fell off. Like that state of mind that person was in, to say like, you know, you didn't think about me. You didn't stop everything that you had going on. You didn't drop everything for me. And it's like, at the same time, this person doesn't have kids or the extent of family. I'm the oldest of 8, right? I'm the oldest of 8, and I have 5 kids, you know, 3 of my own and my 2 stepkids. And we had to spend time with my stepkids that were still there, all 7 of my siblings, my parents, like have extended array of family, not to mention at the time I was married. So I have my husband, my husband's family, all of these pieces, right? And this person told me that I didn't stop what I was doing for them, although I had not seen this person physically or hung out or did anything with this person in years. But that just hurt me, because I was just like, dang, all of this time and you still didn't grow.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't know life be lifing? Do you not know that I have all these things going on, and I just told you that, look, I have this much time and I got to do all this before I leave. And you think that I supposed to stop what I have going on with the people that I speak to on a daily or on a weekly? I have to do all these things. You think I'm supposed to just stop? I have a whole family. You think I'm supposed to stop for you?
Right.
I'm just saying. Like, you should see me over here when you talk. I'm like,
what? But it was hurtful. It was hurtful because I thought that this person would, I knew where this person was years ago, right? And I knew that issue was a person that person had. That was an issue that person had within themselves from years ago. But seeing as the time apart that we spent, I was assuming that this person was growing like I was growing. You know, I see here, Christina says, seasons change and some people are not included in the next season. And that's so true. And that's what I had to realize in that moment. Right. Because I was thinking, I guess like a part of me was trying to keep the door open for that friendship to maybe like come back together. Like, you know, we'll both grow. We'll get it together to where we can both come back and we can be, you know, buddies again. And it's just like that part. I think that was like the little piece I was like, dang, no, that friendship really, really done. Like, that's like,
man,
I don't know, maybe that was God just being like, look,
right,
leave that where it's at.
Was what it is. It's
yeah,
what
God
you
was
just
telling
said
me.
is what happened. It's basically what happened. And then also people need to understand, like, when you growing, it's like I'm growing for me. I'm not growing for everybody else. You on board, you on board. If you're not, you're not. Period. And maybe that she was feeling some type of way because maybe this person thought about moving out of state. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people that was like, I'll move out of state, I'm gonna move out of state, and then they don't do it. And maybe it was like, and then they see you do it, they be like, dang, how she do that? You know? And I don't know if that's how that girl was feeling, but for her to think that she titled to your time, it's like, girl, we don't even talk like that. Like, I know you was kind of hurt because the girl didn't grow, but it's just showing you, like, everybody not gonna grow with you. Everybody don't want the best for you.
Yeah.
They probably just wanted to hang out just to say they did it.
Who knows? But I was willing to. Like I told you, I was like, I don't want to let go of that friendship. Like, then there was the other friendship. I told you there was two. There was the other where, to this day, I don't know what happened. Right? This person just vanished a little bit. They vanished for a stint in time, and then they just popped back up out of the blue and acted like the vanishing never happened. And that part hurt me. Because I'm like, I understand. Like I told you, I've always been that friend. I'm trying to be understanding and see things from everybody's point of view. And I know how you say life be lifing. I have plenty of people in my life that, like, I see you when I see you and we talk and we chop it up real good. But then, like, we separate and it's like, oh, I ain't hit them up in a couple of weeks. I might send you a text message to let you know I'm thinking about you. Hey, girl, you still good over there? Yeah, okay. Right. And then, you know, we keep that connection that way. But you're not taking it personal. But I'm not calling you every day. You know, so I was being that way, right, with this person, this second friend. I'm thinking, you know, you're not going to take it personal because we don't hang out every day. We don't talk every day. I'm not going to take it personal. I don't see them. But I do always reach out on birthdays. And when I reached out on this person's birthday, I found out their phone number was changed. And I was like, wait, what?
Well, dang, look.
And I was like, wait, no, maybe I was a mistake. Maybe they just forgot to tell me, or maybe I didn't save, or maybe I deleted the wrong number. So I go to Facebook so I can wish them happy birthday on Facebook. And I realized I'm not their friend on Facebook. Go to Instagram. I'm not their friend. I see they unfollow me on every social media platform and then change their number and then give it to me. And I was just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, she thought y'all was gonna be friends after that.
No, this is a different friend. This is a whole different friend. But I was just sitting here like, wait, what did I do? So I'm like trying to backtrack in my mind, like, did I say something? Because I know sometimes I be getting lippy. I'm like, did I say something? Did I do something? But I'm like, you know what? This is an example of a person protecting their peace. I just leave it be. I'll leave it alone, you know. But then when this person popped back up in my life, and they were just sending me messages and how you doing and what you got going on, and I'm like, bro, you disappeared for 3 years. What do you mean? So when I addressed the elephant in
3 years,
yeah, I addressed the elephant in the room, and I'm just like, hey, real quick, we can get to that stuff, but what happened? Why were you gone? What happened? Why did you disappear? This person's response to me was, time is relevant to me. Okay, you know what? You're not taking my feelings serious right now. If I told you, hey, you disappeared and made me feel this way. I thought we were growing to that point in, you know, friendships where we can have these type of conversations with people where you can tell them how their actions made you feel. I'm hoping that you will tell me what my actions were that made you feel like you needed to disappear.
Right.
But I never got that. And I was just like, okay, that's another thing with me understanding. It doesn't have to be that way. I see here Christina said, when friendship status change, sometimes words unspoken, the people still have the same expectations. And like that, like, I feel like that is what happened in that previous friendship with the other person, right? Now, mind you, both of these situations, oddly enough, were happening around the same time. So I'm dealing with these two ghost friends that pop back up, or like one of them being like, I don't want to be friends anymore, and then the other one just coming back like, hey, how are you? And I'm just like, what? I felt like I was in twice. I'm like, what is going
Where
on?
was you at that time? Like, what was you doing? Like, was you like in your business at that time? Like, where were
All
you
of the
at
above.
then?
So I was actually at the time the person came back. It was like New Year's. Actually, it was New Year's Eve. I want to say the person first reached out and I saw it, but I didn't it was a friend request. And I saw the friend request, but I didn't accept it right away. Cause I was just like, what is this? I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna just keep on going. I'm not even gonna respond to it. But then they took their friend request back. And my birthday is 2 weeks after New Year's.
Right.
So then on my birthday, they sent the friend request again, but this time it was accompanied by a message. And the message, was pretty much something along the lines of like, hey, how are you? How have you been doing? And then I was just like, where you been? Like, no, we're not going to do the small talk. What's up? But where have you been? Like, I pretty much addressed all the things that were like hurtful to me because I was like, yo, I got married and you wasn't there. You had a child and I wasn't there. There was a lot of things that happened in our lives that we thought we were going to be there for each other for that we weren't. Right. And there's like no reason in my mind, right? Because I don't know what happened. There was no reason in my mind. And and that person's response to me was time was relevant to them. So I was just like, okay, got it. So that in turn just told me like, okay, where we stand. Like, I just felt like that was them basically just saying like it wasn't really important to them to address it, or they didn't really care to address it, and it is what it is. Sweep it under the rug. We're gonna be cool now. And I was just like,
life don't work that way.
Yeah, and it was just like, I mean, if we were actually able to have a real conversation at that time about what happened during that 3-year period, at least granted, and I will say this, I'm not owed an explanation from anybody. If you ever decide that you want to be done with somebody and you're done, you don't owe them an explanation. But if you're going to try to come back into their life, I think you do at least owe that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like you're wanting me to open my doors to you when you just disappeared. Like at that point, yeah, I think that at that time some explanation is warranted. But if you're going to be gone and be gone, then be gone.
And then plus on top of that, you don't know where they're coming from. You talking about a whole 3 years. Like something happened 3 years ago. It might be because of me, or it might be because you had some personal going on in your life and you just wanted to cut ties from like your old people. But if you're trying to come back, then you need to tell me why. Like, or is you just coming back because you seeing how far I grew? Or is you really coming back to be my friend? You get what I'm saying? Like that'd be like if somebody's like 3 years later and you just like you completely unfriended me. You got a new number. You did all of this, and then now you see me doing my big one, or close to doing my big one, or doing something and growing within myself, and then now all of a sudden you like, oh, I can benefit off of this. That's how I took that. I'm not feeling like I could benefit off of this. Hey, girl, what you doing? Look, let's be cool. I want to be on the level you being on. I see like your personality and the things you doing makes me want to hang out with you again. But no, sis, it don't work like that. You should have thought that we could have been here together if you would have been a real friend and
just have a conversation.
Just have a conversation.
So, honestly, I think everybody has their own ways of handling things, right? Relationship, friendship, no matter what. But I think that just as adults, we got to be better at communicating, because I see a lot of things, a lot of people are going through unnecessary things just because they don't communicate with each other, or they don't communicate effectively. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I don't know. Do you have any hurtful friendship breakups?
I want to say at least like one, for real. And it was all because it was over a guy. And it don't sound how you think it sounds. It was over the fact that I seen a guy doing this person wrong, and I spoke on it, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like how he doing you, and it's a lot of people out here that can do you better, you know. And the person they was with was like, she don't know what she's talking about. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't say that. So we and now you think about it. that was then, and now it's crazy because now you ain't been with this dude in how long, and now that ruined a friendship that I knew. We was friends in 6th grade, and
Dang.
we was close, we was tight, and we stopped being friends all because, you know, some people when they with people, they were like, that's my man, you're not gonna tell me about my man. But
Right.
we close, you sis, and we knew each other for that long. Like we was close, like conversating every day, everything we did. You see Kila, you see that person.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, she was like, that's my man, my man, my man, my man. And I'm like, okay. Like I told you what I thought about it, and I don't like how that person was treating you. And all I can do is understand that you all in your man, because I know my man, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing about my man. You know what I'm saying? But if it was like the situation that was going on, like they was not married or anything like that, then
Right. There were no ties. You can cut this dude loose tomorrow and be fine.
I don't want to say too much because they know who exactly what I'm talking about. But it was crazy because the guy was like a guy that I think he stayed out of state. He was not close. There was nobody that she can kick it with every day. It was not like that. And it was just like you sending him money and you doing all this thing like that, and you doing stuff for him, but you want to do stuff for yourself. And it's like, you know, we sis out. I mean, we should be able to have these kind of conversation, and they didn't like it. So I was like, well, I guess it's time. It's time.
Right.
It's just, you know, go apart.
And that be the sad part about it, because then you be losing friends to unnecessary drama.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I thought I was just being a good friend. I wanted you to tell me if I was just like Looney Tunes over somebody, especially we young, we in our early 20s. Like, come on.
Right. Like, and that be the part. Like, we be young. We was young. I mean, granted, these last few situations with me, we were young when we stopped. We were younger. I'll say that we were younger when we stopped being friends. But the recent situations are us as adults as we are today, because those situations was, how long have I been in Texas? Almost 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was over 1.5 years ago, those two situations. So
right, that's what you would think they would have grew by then. I mean, like, just we grown, like we in our 30s or late 20s. Like, I feel like, me personally, I feel like when you get to your 30s, it's like you learn for all your 20s.
Mm-hmm. And granted, there's still some people in their 30s that's still learning. There are.
But it's just like, come on.
Yeah. Some of these mistakes, we need to be over them already. Some of these mistakes.
Right.
We should know how to talk to people by now.
Right. And I'm like, and it's like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I can, like, I think communication is key, but sometimes I don't communicate like I'm supposed to. But I want you to call me out on that. If we real good friends, I'm okay with having hard conversations. A lot of people, they don't like having hard conversations, and they don't like hearing the truth. And that stuff don't mix, because we're not really friends if I can't have hard conversations and real conversation with you, because we just kicking it at that point, and we can't really have real conversations.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, I don't even know if we can even kick it at that point, because I feel like it's like, I mean, yeah, no, I feel
yeah, but no, that's what I mean. Like, at that point, we just kicking it, and then we're not friends. We're not friends at all. Because
you're an associate. I see you around.
We're not even at that point. I'm sorry. I want people around me that can be on the, like, that I can be real with. I don't want to have phony kicking it. Ain't that what we do? The word we used to use?
Yeah, we used to say phony kicking it. That's what it was. It was a whole lot of phony kicking it.
I don't want a phony kick it. I'm like, I want people around me that want the same thing. I want people that can be real around me. I don't want you to be exactly like me or anything like that, but I want you to be real.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, like, I know everybody has those conversations about, you know, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. If you're in a room of millionaires, you're going to be the next millionaire. If you're in a room of misery, you're going to be sitting there in misery too. And I've always wanted more for myself. I've always, you know, tried to figure out a way to make better for myself. And in those situations, I thought I had like-minded people. And don't get me wrong, I did have in some of those situations some very like-minded people around me. It was just like, I thought it was all right, if one of us eat, we all eat kind of thing. And not everybody kind of has that same state of mind. Not everybody has, like she said, not everybody has the same intentions for you. You know, if it's outside of themselves, sometimes people don't have those same type of intentions unless it's benefiting them. And like I learned that in my course of a couple decades and some change, that being a friend is more than just hanging out with somebody and talking to that person, having a number, going out. It's about actually making a connection with a person, wanting as much for them as you want for yourself, being able to hold real conversations outside of gossip, meaningful, constructive conversations, and being able to be held accountable by those same people. Yeah. Because just like in my relationship, I would want my husband to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, because I'm finna hold him accountable. Why would you not want that from your friends? These are the same people that you're gonna want to spend the same amount of time and effort into.
Yeah. And one other thing I have to say is you don't want nobody to kill your peace. I'm big on like this time that's going on right now is my peace. And you should want to have your peace as well. And I really feel that way because you let, like, back then you used to let stuff bother you and like the communication, and like now it's just like you gonna be for my peace, I'm gonna be for your peace, or we just can't be friends.
Right. And that's where we wrap up the whole part of, is it okay to cut people off? Yeah. If it's protecting your peace, right? Yes. Right. If now, if you just, I don't know, because I guess even when people ghost, that's a form of protecting their peace too. But if you did somebody wrong, or you bogus to them and then you want to cut them off, you're wrong. How about y'all take some time to reflect on yourselves, reflect on who you are as a person, and think about every situation in its entirety, not only from your perspective, but from the perspective of the person that it is impacting. Because that is a very big piece, and us holding accountability for our actions and our words. And, in doing that, I guarantee, like, you will attract more genuine people if you are genuine too. If you're genuine with yourself and you're genuine with the effort that you put into your relationships, including your friendships, then you will yield the same, or not close to it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there's still going to be people out there in the world who are malicious and don't have the right intent for you. But if you set the foundation for y'all to be genuine with each other and have effective communication and holding each other accountable, you'll be able to wean those people out of your life just as fast as they come into it.
And then also, if you're going to cut somebody off, don't expect just to jump back in their life without giving them a reason why you cut them off. If like you just ghosting, just ghost, let it be. Don't try to come back. And I do the same. If I ghost you, I'm not going to come back to you like, hey, 3 years later, talk about stuff. How you doing? No,
right.
If you gonna ghost me. Like, be a G about it. If you gonna ghost me, ghost me.
You just say be a G about it.
Let's be real. And if I ghost you, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna come back and be like, hey sis, how you doing? Nope.
We run that course, we learn our lessons, and we move on. Now, any relationship spoken about in today's episode, gotta give a disclaimer. There is no ill will to any of the individuals. If these situations sound familiar to you as a watcher, then it may or may not have been you or about you. Do not take it personal. We are all adults here. We've all grown and moved on from each situation. I just felt it was my piece to share it. Now,
if you have any questions, inbox us. Let us know. We can most definitely talk.
You want to have that conversation about why you disappeared for 3 years?
We can even have you up an upcoming episode. We can have a conversation on your opinion or what you think about it.
Invite them to the group chat. Now we're going to discuss this. Look at you. You over here like, and is. No, we're not doing that at all. We're good. We're good. But that leads us into next week. So next week we will be talking about life and how it be lifing. Like, I think this week kind of segues into next week. You know what I mean? Because think about it. Sometimes that's how relationships just drift apart because life be lifing. Or, sometimes we be feeling real beat up and torn down because life be lifing. We be feeling drained. We be feeling accomplished. We be feeling all of the above, right? despite lifing, because it happens to the best of us. So that's what we're going to be digging into next week. Now, what I would like to see is some of you guys share some of your input previous to the episode about how life be lifing for you. And maybe we'll feature you on next week's episode. So please feel free, DM us,
email, anything.
Yes, please share. We want to bring you guys onto the group chat. So we'll be looking for those. But thank you guys for tuning in this week. It was a lot of fun. Even though we got personal and we said we wasn't.
Look, it's always going to be personal because we are in a big group text.
You keep saying that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a group chat. It's a group chat. All right, y'all. Well, bye. See you guys next Sunday.
Bye-bye.